Hello friends, welcome. Today's lecture, Direct and Bending Stresses. Myself, Mr. Y. S. Patil, Department of Civil Engineering, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Yetra. In last lecture, we discussed column. Basically, column means a vertical structural member subjected to axial compressive load. Due to that axial compressive load, the column fails in the direct stresses. If the load acting away from that CG or on the different means away from that CG, at that time the failure pattern is changed. Means when you load acted away from that CG in the column, there are two type of stresses induced. First one is the direct stress and second one is a combined bending. So let us see in this chapter combined bending and direct stress. So suppose this is a column subjected to axial loading, that is P, acting on the accent CG of the section. So direct stress becomes sigma 0 is equal to load upon area. It is simply mathematical expression, that is load upon cross sectional area. Due to that axial loading, the stress produced is direct stress, where sigma 0 is equal to intensity of the stresses, A is equal to area of the cross section, and P is equal to load acting on the column. This is the simple mathematical expressions for load acting on a CG of the section. Now suppose the P acting away from that the CG at a distance of E. At that time, what are the stresses induced in the section or in the column? Let us see. So first, this is a section having acting external load, that is P, at a distance of E. E means eccentricity E. Now just simplify, apply a P force upward and downward at the CG. Apply this P force upward and downward at the CG, means effect of this P force on this section is null, because P is a downward, P is a upward, so effect on the section is null. Now I separate this section into two parts, that is first only act a P force on the CG at the axis or that CG of the section. Due to this P force, the stresses produced in the section is direct stress, that is total compressive. Next, this P force and this P force, means the P is a downward and P is upward, separated by a distance, that is E. Means what? It is a just indirectly a couple or moment. Moment means force into perpendicular distance, that is P into E. M is equal to P into E. So P is equal to eccentric load on the column, E is equal to eccentricity of the load, sigma 0 is equal to direct stress, sigma B is equal to bending stress, B is equal to width of column, D is equal to depth of column, and M moment is equal to load into eccentricity. Load is P, eccentricity is E, that is P into E. Now sigma 0, we know the direct stress from figure C, that is sigma 0 is equal to load upon area, that is P by A. Means due to this P force, we got the direct stress, that is P by A. Now let us see from this sketch. Due to this external P force, generate a moment, and that moment is M. By using flexural equation, we know the flexural equation is, that is M upon I is equal to sigma B upon Y. So for I want to calculate sigma B, that is bending stress, is M upon I into Y. This is the bending stress. So maximum stress, how to calculate maximum stress in the section is sigma max is equal to direct stress plus bending stress, means sigma 0 plus sigma B. This is the maximum stress. Then next, sigma minimum is direct stress minus bending stress, that is sigma 0 minus sigma B. Let us see here, due to this P at a distance of eccentricity E, the stresses induced on the face BC is more and the stress induced and the face AD is less. So maximum stress, that is sigma max, acting on the face BC and sigma minimum acting on the face AD. This is the stress distribution diagram for this cross section. So let us see one example. A rectangular column width 200 mm and thickness is 150 mm carries a point load of 240 kilonewton as shown in figure. Determine the maximum and minimum stress is in the section when eccentricity of 10 mm first condition, second eccentricity of 50 mm second condition. So this is the section. Width of the section is 200 mm and depth of the section is 150 mm. A load acting is 240 kilonewton at a eccentricity of 10 mm. That is first condition. We discuss about first condition. And that 10 mm acting on the this x-axis. Okay. So first write down given, that is B is equal to 200 mm, D is equal to 150, area is equal to B into D, that is 30,000 mm square, P is equal to 240 kilonewton, E is equal to 10 mm. So final determination is sigma max, that is maximum stress, and sigma minimum, that is minimum stress. So first of all we need to calculate moment of inertia. Already we know the moment of, for every section we having two moment of inertia, that is Ixx and Iyy. Then which moment of inertia is used in the formula or that in the problem? So basically see here the load acting on the x-axis, due to this eccentric loading, the axis will be bent. That axis is y-axis, means the bending axis is now y-axis. So we want to calculate Iyy, means see here whichever axis will be bent, that moment of inertia you need to calculate. So Iyy is bending axis. Due to that, if the load acting on the x-axis means there is no bending on the x-axis, the bending occurs in the y direction like this. So that's why we need to calculate Iyy. So Iyy becomes dB cube by 12. D value is 150, B value is 200 cube divided by 12. Iyy is equal to 100 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Then similar way, y bar is equal to, or that y value is B by 2, that is 200 divided by 2 is 100 mm. So sigma 0 is equal to, that is direct stress, is equal to P by A. P is equal to 240 into 10 raised to 3 Newton divided by area is 30,000. So sigma 0 is equal to 8 Newton per mm square. So this is the direct stress. Then we need to calculate bending stress. For bending stress we know the equation sigma B is equal to plus or minus m upon I into y. Already we know the I value. Already calculated I value and y value. Now we need to calculate m value. M is nothing but moment, and that moment is P into E. That P value is 240 into 10 raised to 3 and E is 10. So M is equal to 24 into 10 raised to 5 Newton mm. Then put up these all values in this equation. So sigma B becomes 24 into 10 raised to 5 divided by 100 into 10 raised to 6 into 100. So sigma B becomes 2.4 Newton per mm square. So this is the sigma 0 and sigma B. Now we calculate maximum stress. We know the sigma max is equal to sigma 0 plus sigma B. Sigma 0 becomes 8 Newton per mm square and sigma B is 2.4 Newton per mm square. So sigma max becomes 10.4 Newton per mm square. Similar way we calculate sigma minimum. Sigma minimum is equal to sigma 0 minus sigma B, that is 8 minus 2.4. So sigma minimum becomes 5.6 Newton per mm square. Now draw the stress distribution diagram. First, basically this is the baseline. So load acting on this side, so maximum stress obviously occurs on this face. So that is sigma max is 10.4, and on this face the sigma minimum, that is 5.6. And this is a compression. Positive means compression. So compression forces stresses plot on the bottom of the baseline. So join this section. This is the stress distribution diagram. Now this is the baseline, and below baseline this is the compressive force, means there's the total stress, that is sigma max and sigma minimum, both are in compression in nature. So it becomes total compressive. Then when eccentricity increases, that is 10 to 50 mm. Now E becomes 50 mm. Those direct stress becomes same as it is, that is P by A. That P is equal to 240 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 30,000. It becomes 8 Newton per mm square. And now I want to calculate sigma B. So sigma B becomes M upon I into Y. Now I want to calculate M value. So M will be changed because M depends upon P into E. P is a constant, but E value is now changed. That is E is become now 50. So 240 into 10 raised to 3 into 50. That is M is equal to 12 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. So sigma B becomes 12 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 100 into 10 raised to 6 into 100. So it becomes 12 Newton per mm square. So sigma max is equal to sigma 0 plus sigma B. Sigma 0 is 8, sigma B is 12. So it becomes sigma max is equal to 20 Newton per mm square. Then find out sigma minimum, that is minimum stress, is sigma 0 minus sigma B. Sigma 0 is 8 minus sigma B is 12. So it becomes minus 4 Newton per mm square. So positive sign indicates the nature of the stress is compression, and negative sign indicates the nature of the stress is tension. So draw the stress distribution diagram like this. So this is the baseline. On this side the maximum stress occurs because the load acting on the right of that y-axis. So this is a sigma max, and that is a compression. Compression means you need to plot below of that the baseline. So that is the 20. Next, sigma minimum is minus 4. Minus means tensile here. Tensile means you should draw or you should plot the above the baseline, that is the sigma minimum, and join this by using inclined straight line. So this is the stress distribution diagram for this particular problem. So this is the compressive stress, this is the tensile stress, and this stress distribution diagram is partially tension and partially compression. Means this part is on the compressive stress, this part is on tensile stress. So this is the partially compression, partially tension. Now one more condition is there. Suppose sigma minimum value is 0, then what is the maximum eccentricity and sigma max? So sigma minimum becomes 0. It means sigma 0 minus sigma b. So sigma 0 minus sigma b is nothing, it means sigma 0 is equal to sigma b. So see, we know the value of the sigma 0, 240 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 30,000 is equal to 24. That is sigma b m upon I into y, and m is equal to nothing but p into e. So p is 240 into 10 raised to 3 into e divided by I value is 100 into 10 raised to 6 into 100. So e becomes is 33.33. Now by using this e, you can calculate sigma b value, and you can calculate sigma max, and sigma max value is 16 Newton per mm square. Sorry, when the now this e is equal to 33.33 mm. So sigma 0 is 240 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per Newton divided by 30,000 is equal to 8 Newton per mm square. So sigma b is equal to m upon I into y. So m becomes 240 into 10 raised to 3, that is p into e is 33.33 is equal to 7.99 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. So sigma b is equal to m upon I into y. So sigma b becomes 8 Newton per mm square. So sigma max is equal to sigma 0 plus sigma b means 8 plus 8 is equal to 16 Newton per mm square, and sigma minimum is equal to sigma 0 minus sigma b, that is 8 minus 8 is equal to 0 Newton per mm square. So plot the stress distribution diagram. Sigma max is 16 Newton per mm square and sigma minimum is 0. So this is a triangle like this. So this condition called as no tension condition, means sigma minimum value becomes 0. So that condition becomes no tension condition. So this is the three types of stress distribution diagram. First one is a total compression, second one is a partial tension, partially compression, and third one is a no tension condition. So this is the solution for problem. Thank you.